Just wanted to show you our gigantic croissant for breakfast. And there's a cream inside as well.
Yeah, so good.
And we have coffee and we have little pigs in a blind head as well. And of course the traditional meats, which are amazing. And the view. After eating our breakfast in Naples, it was time to travel to the east coast of Italy for the last part of our journey. Over the next few days we were going to travel over 1,300 kilometers. First stop was located approximately 400 kilometers from Naples, Ancona. The road to get there takes you through some of the most beautiful and historic areas of the country. Ancona is famous for its seafood and has several thriving fish markets where visitors can sample the freshest catch of the day. The city has also several restaurants that serve delicious local dishes such as brodetto, a traditional fish stew. We didn't have a very strong desire to visit Ancona, but it was a convenient layover before traveling up north to San Marino. We made a stop midway for a quick snack. Just a short stop on the way to Ancona. And I bought some arancini, my favorite thing. I haven't eaten it since Sicily. I've got some.
Did you like it?
Espresso. I loved it. The first night I've got some Italian wine. I bought 4 different wines. I'm gonna try them all. The last 100 kilometers of the drive to Ancona is the nicest part. The road with the mountain in front of you and the seacoast on the right hand side, as it was quite a long drive. By the time we arrived, it was already late afternoon. We were quite hungry and we wanted to see the beach, so the most logical solution was to find a restaurant near the water. Lucky for us, we found a perfect place in Porto Novo, a small village in the province of Ancona. We just arrived in Ancona. Actually, it's not even Ancona city center, it's a beach near Ancona. After 5 hours and a half drive from Naples. This is the beach, stony beach, but very nice, beautiful white stones. And there is a little restaurant in here as well, behind me. And there's a lot of stones in the water as well. It looks great.
East Coast, how do you like it? That's amazing.
I love it. It's beautiful. The sun was already setting, so we didn't go for a swim, but it was still very warm and pleasant. We needed to find a restaurant, and we were hoping we can get a seat without the booking. So there is a shadow and there is sun. The restaurant was completely booked out, but we found a solution to that problem, as we asked if we can order food to one of the empty lounges that were next to the water. We couldn't imagine a more perfect location for a meal. Il Molo is a beachfront restaurant serving seafood. It's known for its fresh food and friendly atmosphere. By the time we ordered food, it got dark. We had a few drinks and waited for the food while enjoying the view of the Adriatic Sea. This looks amazing. This is the best location I've ever eaten in. You can't really see properly, but...
Yeah, we've never eaten anywhere like this. We never come to Stony Beach, that's why, yeah? What you get, babes?
I don't even know. I have to look what I have.
This looks like
There's a little squid. There are some mussels. That's a sea bass. There's a scampi here, and there's a bit of a lobster there as well, I think. When we got back to the car, it started raining a little bit. We were staying in a peaceful country house called L'Isola che non c'è, which translates to Never Neverland. This is our breakfast today. We've got some sweets, desserts. After breakfast, we decided to relax for a bit by the swimming pool. To be specific, I was relaxing by the swimming pool, while Nelly had to do a Zoom call. Next, we visited the beach one more time before we had to leave Ancona and drive to our next destination, San Marino. This time, we spent about an hour on the beach and had a small snack. It was more windy than the day before, and there were less people sunbathing. Porto Novo is a small place, but definitely worth visiting if you are anywhere nearby. It takes about 1 hour and a half to get from Porto Novo to San Marino. It's a beautiful drive overlooking the Adriatic Sea. The east coast of Italy has a flatter landscape than the cliffs of the west, with long, sandy beaches alongside. It's got more humid, subtropical climate, with hot summers and cool winters. We were discussing all the things we have seen and done so far on that trip. We have made some great memories. We made a quick stop to buy ice creams. Altro Gelato offers a wide variety of flavors, including classics like chocolate or pistachio, as well as more unusual creative flavors like licorice, balsamic vinegar and and saffron. We went for more traditional choices. San Marino is a charming and picturesque country full of natural beauty and rich history. It is the oldest surviving sovereign state in the world, founded in 301 AD. Its history and architecture are well preserved, making it a fascinating destination for history enthusiasts. The country is located on the hilltop, offering spectacular views of the surrounding landscapes. The narrow streets and alleys are perfect for exploring on foot, and the medieval towers and castles are a testament to the country's past. San Marino is known for its delicious cuisine and world-famous wines. These are an essential part of the country's culture, and visitors can experience a unique blend of Italian and San Marinese cuisine. It's got a relaxed and friendly atmosphere, making it an ideal place to unwind and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. The locals are welcoming and hospitable, and the visitors can immerse themselves in the laid-back lifestyle of this enchanting country. We started our evening by having a glass of wine and sharing a piadina, also known in the east part of Italy. After this perfect snack, we walked up the hills, checked out the local shops, and headed up to one of the landmarks of the country, the Guaiata Tower, the oldest of the three towers that make up the fortress of San Marino. It's a perfect place to admire the panoramic view of the entire city and the picturesque countryside below. After this little hike, we tried some of the local cuisines at one of the restaurants that offer stunning views of the city. The charm and beauty of San Marino are truly breathtaking. We were staying at Hotel Rosa, a historic accommodation located in the heart of the old town. The hotel, which has been welcoming guests since 1894, once hosted actress Greta Garbo. The next morning we had a quick and tasty breakfast, once again admiring the views, and then it was time to leave San Marino. Our next destination was Reggio Emilia with a quick stop in Modena. We felt like we could have stayed another night in San Marino, but we were now on a tight schedule. The drive to Modena took just over 2 hours. We really enjoyed passing through the picturesque region of Emilia-Romagna, famous for its production of Parmesan cheese, balsamic vinegar, and prosciutto ham. The reason we were going to stop in Modena was to visit the Ferrari Museum. The Museo Ferrari in Modena is a must-visit destination for car enthusiasts and fans of this iconic Italian sports cars brand. The museum is located in the heart of Modena, where Enzo Ferrari, the founder of the company, was born in 1898. The museum is home to a collection of some of the most beautiful and iconic Ferrari cars ever produced, including classic and modern racing cars, limited edition and experimental models, and prototypes that never went into production. Visitors can explore the exhibition and discover the stories behind each car, the history of the brand, and the people who made it all possible. One of the highlights of the museum is a chance to see some of the Ferrari's most famous cars up close, such as Ferrari 250 GTO, one of the rarest and most valuable cars in the world. Other iconic cars on display include Ferrari F40, the first production car to exceed 200 miles per hour, and the Ferrari F50, a limited edition supercar that was built to celebrate the company's 50th anniversary. In addition to the cars, the museum also features interactive displays, multimedia exhibits, and a virtual racing simulator, offering visitors a chance to experience the thrill of driving a Ferrari. Overall, the Museo Ferrari in Modena is a fascinating and exciting destination that celebrates the legacy of one of Italy's most iconic brands. Whether you're a car enthusiast or simply interested in the history of Italian design and engineering, a visit to this museum is an unforgettable experience. We really enjoyed it. The drive from Modena to Reggio Emilia takes visitors through the beautiful Po Valley and the lush countryside of the Emilia-Romagna region, with its rolling hills, vineyards, and charming towns. It's a scenic journey that captures the essence of Italy's rural charm and culinary heritage. We made another quick stop to see an old part of town. Reggio Emilia's old town is a beautiful place filled with historic architecture, lively piazzas, shops, restaurants, and cafes. From the annual Reggio Film Festival to the traditional Christmas market, there's always something happening in this lively and historic neighborhood. We are in Reggio Emilia.
Yes, we're very fancy here now.
We arrived after a short drive at our next destination in Parma. It was a lovely and clean apartment, but what really shocked us was the generosity of the host, Dario. The house was filled with snacks, drinks, and foods of any kind. The fridge was full of beers, soft drinks, and other foods. There are many different kinds of cold cuts and cheeses. The value of that all exceeded the cost of the stay, which was only £61 for a night. Dario was one of the nicest people we have ever met, and until today we chat sometimes. We cannot recommend it strongly enough, and we shall definitely be back there whenever we have a chance. We'll include the name and the address of the place in the bottom of the screen if you want to find it. The next morning we made ourselves a quick breakfast, and it was time to leave this amazing, friendly place. Our next destination was Venice, and we were looking forward to seeing it. In the car, we were still trying to figure out how Dario would make any money if we actually ate everything that was in the fridge. We finally came into conclusion that he just simply must be that good and trusting person. The drive to Venice took just under 3 hours and we traveled a distance of 250 kilometers. The last 4 kilometers of the journey took us through Ponte della Libertà, the Bridge of Liberty, 4 kilometers long connection across the water between the mainland and the historic center of Venice. The bridge is a vital link for residents and visitors alike, providing road access to the city and accommodating a constant flow of traffic, including cars, buses and trucks. As you cross the bridge, you will enjoy panoramic views of the lagoon and the iconic skyline of Venice, with its most famous bell towers and domes rising up in the distance. The historic center of Venice is a unique and enchanting place, full of character, charm and history. The area is renowned for its stunning architecture, intricate canals and picturesque piazzas, which form the backdrop for some of the city's most iconic landmarks, such as St. Mark's Basilica, the Dutch Place and the Rialto Bridge. One of the best things about Venice is the opportunity to wander through the narrow streets and alleyways, whether you're taking a gondola ride along the Grand Canal, exploring the city's many museums and galleries, or simply people watching in one of its many piazzas. The historic part of Venice is a beautiful place. We checked into a stunning apartment located on the banks of the canal. The place had a dining room, high ceilings, and it was very stylish, but the best thing about it was the view from the window. Venice was built on over 100 islands, connected with over 400 bridges. In the beginning, the bridges were flat and made of wood. It made it easier for the horses with carts to cross them. In the 16th century, the bridges changed into the stone ones and an arch shape. That allowed the ever-growing number of boats to easily pass underneath them. Now the water taxis or gondolas are the main form of transportation in Venice. The lack of road traffic and cars give the city a very unique and peaceful vibe, and is considered one of the most romantic cities in the world. The buildings in Venice are constructed on wooden piles, driven deep into the mud to support the structures. In the Middle Ages, Venice was a major center of trade, and its merchants were some of the wealthiest in Europe. Now the city is most famous for its art, charm and culture. Venice is home to several music festivals throughout the year, including the Venice Biennale, the Venice Jazz Festival, and the dating back to the 11th century Carnival, known for its elaborate masks and costumes. Venice has a vibrant nightlife scene with something to offer for everyone. You won't find many nightclubs here, but it's got plenty of wine bars and restaurants that stay open late into the night. In the morning, we admired the view of Venice one more time from the window of our apartment, and then it was time to continue our journey. It was time to reach our next destination, Milan, but we decided to make one more quick beach stop before we drove inland. Just when we thought we finished our beach holidays this year, we didn't. The beach was quite empty and we didn't stay too long as we had to hit the road. It takes 3 hours to get to Milan from Venice. We arrived to our Airbnb located on the outskirts of the center of Milan. As it was already late afternoon, we just relaxed. It was a nice and clean estate with apartment blocks all around. The host traditionally left us some coffee, bread and jam for breakfast. After we ate, we drove to the city center. After a short 15-minute drive, we arrived at the center of the fashion district. Milan is much easier to drive around in than Rome. Despite the trams and the cobbled roads, people drive more calmly here. Parking is fairly easy to find, and driving slowly, we could admire the beauty of this historic city. We decided to park in a private car park, not on the street, as we had our luggage inside the car. So we're in Milan, and we are going shopping. Just like in any other destination visited during our road tour of Italy, we didn't have much time to go exploring the usual tourist attractions. We walked around Plaza del Duomo, the main square with the largest church in Italy, Gothic-style cathedral of Milan, and surrounded by boutiques and showrooms of the most famous fashion designers and brands. The shopping was a success, and Nelly managed to find herself a dress. What did you have for your shopping? As it was our last day and the next morning we had to travel back to the airport in Turin, we decided to relax by the communal swimming pool. Our Italian tour was one of our most favorite trips of all times.